And like Erica said in the beginning of this episode, don't waste their time. Don't just like schedule a Zoom call with them, take them away from their work to be like, you good? Good. And then like hang up the phone. It's like,
Hello, leaders, and welcome back to another episode of the LeadHer Lounge. Today, we're going to talk about a topic that, especially in this virtual world, is very, very needed, and that is having meaningful one-on-ones or check-ins. So right now, we are in such a busy world that it is hard to ask about how my team members are doing, talking about goals, talking about other topics than work. How are you doing with your projects? How are you doing with this deadline? How you're doing with this and that? And we forget about, the personal and
human
connection. Yeah. So this episode is going to kind of help you structure these conversations. Again, we want them to be very genuine and very natural, but it is really good to prepare before having this conversation. So your team members, your employees don't feel that they are wasting time when talking with you, and you don't want to waste time as well. So let's prepare and be prepared and organized when having those conversations so they're actually meaningful.
Yeah. So throughout our leadership journey, we've kind of found that there is a structure. There's like 3 things that we always try to do while having one-on-ones with our employees to help make those like check-ins really meaningful. And this isn't like a coaching conversation one-on-one. This isn't anything that's really detrimental to their career, but it's helpful, and it's just so that, like Erica said, you're not wasting anybody's time while you're doing it. And the first thing is just a temperature check. Like, ask them how they're doing. Ask them, like, personally and with their work, how are things going with life? How are things going with your projects? Is, anything new going on? Are you taking any trips? Like, just check in and see how they're doing. Because that way that's when they're going to probably open up and say, like, I'm really overwhelmed with all the projects that I have. Or maybe something isn't going great at home, and it's kind of affecting the way that I'm showing up at work right now. So you can be more available and just, you can kind of read the room at that point, I think, and know how that conversation can go. And the next part would be kind of to follow up with the previous check-ins that you have.
Yeah, so when following up, that's why you need to listen. And we have been talking about listening and the importance of actually being present in that conversation, because let's say Taylor is my employee and she came to me and she was vulnerable, and then I move forward to the next check-in and I don't kind of like go back to that conversation to see how she's doing, or maybe she shares a trip that she did, or maybe a place that she went, or something with their kids. So it feels so special. It might be something small for you, because that's not your life, but for them, when somebody remembers something that I did, it's so special. Patrick, our engineer today, he just asked, like, how was your trip? Do you have fun? Like, he remembered, and we haven't seen him in 2 weeks. And he just remembered because he listened to our conversations. He paid attention. So imagine if somebody that we work with sometimes, it made us feel special. Imagine you as a leader, how they can feel and how they can connect with you. So definitely following up. And I think that helps with the next kind of a step, and that's their goals, talking about their goals, personal goals and professional goals.
Yeah. And you can follow up too in that instance on what you talked about their goals in the previous conversation. But just, check in and see how they're doing. As a leader, you should know what their professional goals are. Like, I think no matter what, I feel like, to me, that's innate. Like, I want to know where you want to go in your career, but follow up on their personal goals too. Maybe someone wants to join a local soccer league, or maybe they are joining a baking competition and you want to know how that went, or, something like that. Make sure that you're asking them how they're doing. We had a team member one time that really wanted to get into photography. So we did a lot of one-on-ones to try and make sure that her website was set up. She was saving the money to buy the cameras, like things like that.
She took pictures for us.
She did take pictures for us. So it's like, you have those things are super special to them, and it gets them to the next level in their life, not just their career. So those are really important for us to follow up on as leaders too.
Yes, and also it might sound a little bit selfish, but it's not. Like knowing their goals is a way for you to motivate them at work too. I have a team member that wanted to save money for their house, for their down payment. And it wasn't me saying like, okay, you have to work hard for your house. No, it wasn't like that. But we knew their goals. I was always following up on like, how much money have you saved? Because we have that trust. How can I support you? Of course, at least we cannot support it financially, but there's so many ways that you can hold them accountable and just be present for them, that the way that they're gonna work with you or for you, it is just different because they know that you deeply cared by knowing their personal goals and following up with them and showing that support. So definitely those 3 steps, there are more things that you can do during those check-ins and during those conversations so they can be meaningful. But temperature check, just knowing how they're feeling, opening a space of where they can be vulnerable with you. Giving them the opportunity to talk. And if they ask you questions, you can be vulnerable too and share anything that you want to share, because it's also not fair when somebody's sharing and the other person is just like
withholding.
Yeah. So like share as much as you can and as you want, but make sure that the conversation like flows well for both of you, and follow up with those conversations after asking. Make sure that you're listening so you pay attention and you actually can follow up and help with their goals and be there for their goals and help as much as you can.
Yeah. And I think too, when we're thinking about having these one-on-ones with employees, if you are in person and you see each other and you're able to kind of make that human connection more often, you may not need a one-on-one as frequently as I would recommend people who are fully remote or hybrid, because it's really hard to make that genuine connection. We've talked about it a lot, especially with like the virtual communication episode, but it's really hard to make a human connection with the people on your team when you're virtual and you're remote. So I mean, like my personal preference was like my leader, I wanted to talk to my leader every day, but I wanted, when we were virtual, like during the pandemic, I wanted to talk to her at least once a week about everything that I needed to talk about. And when I became a leader, I tried to do the same thing, or at least be available to that extent too, in some capacity, even if it was just a 10, 15-minute check-in of like, hey, how's it going? And like Erica said in the beginning of this episode, don't waste their time. Don't just like schedule a Zoom call with them, take them away from their work to be like, you good? Good. And then like hang up the phone. It's like, add some value, make sure that they're feeling supported. That's the biggest part, I think, is you being available, you supporting them. They need to know that you're approachable, that you're there. Otherwise, a lot of people feel like they're really just disconnected and they don't care. And they won't be as productive at work when they don't feel supported.
Yes, it is amazing when employees look forward to those meetings and they want to talk to you and hang out with you. And also, if you think about it, it saves you time. Why? Because you know where they are with their projects. If they need help, they don't need to be reaching out to you because they know like, I'm going to meet with my leader and maybe I can share with them this situation. Yeah. Some of those things, you know, like they know that you have a dedicated time for them. They know that they're going to be able to talk. Nobody's that lucky to be talking about their goals with somebody else. No. When was the last time somebody asked you about your goals? I hope it wasn't a long time ago, but it's not a common conversation even with our friends sometimes, which is sad. Talking about goals motivates us and honestly connect us more because now we both are on this, right? So yes, that's our invitation. Have more one-on-ones with your team members, schedule them, show that you want to really be there and present for them.
Yeah, because like you said, you might not realize it, but they want it. So yeah, that's kind of the 3 best practices that we've done with our team members in the past, and it's worked really well to just open up a really genuine conversation. But if there's anything that you are doing or that your leader maybe is doing to help create more of a genuine connection in during those one-on-ones, let us know in the comments. If there's anyone that you feel like could benefit from this video and maybe could use a little bit of help with having some more intentional one-on-ones, send them this video. And of course, as always, subscribe so you can keep getting content from us.
Yes, and thanks again to our friends at Velocity and Sterling Heights, and we'll see you next week, leaders.
Bye.